Hi guys, welcome to another Smartpreneur Live. So sorry that we are about 8 minutes late. Apologies, but we're here and we're ready for today's session. So today we're going to be talking about understanding the SME sector in northern Nigeria. Let me write that down so we can pin it for anyone who comes and is wondering what we're going to be talking about. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Really happy to see you guys. Hi. We have an amazing guest. I cannot wait for you guys to hear from him. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to pin this for you so anyone who comes in will know what we are talking about. Welcome. Okay, let's try and pin this. Pin comment. Fantastic. Welcome. So our guest is somebody very amazing. I have my laptop in case you're wondering why I am looking down. I have all the information in front of me. So let us see if our guest is around and ready to join us in this live. Is he with us? Nope, he's not with us yet. So we're still waiting. Is anybody here from the north? If you're from the north, please give me a hello and let me know that you're actually here and that you're ready for this session. Hi, Omola MD. Welcome. So we're going to be talking about understanding the dynamics in the SME sector in northern Nigeria. Our guest is somebody who's going to be able to give us a lot of insight into this particular topic. Let me see if he's here and if he is ready to join us. Is he here? He's not here. Okay. Mr. Samila Adoyi Oguchi. He is not here. No, not yet. All right, guys. So what are your if you have any questions, I want you to keep them. Hello. Oh, you guys are from the north. Welcome. So you guys are going to be able to give us a lot of insights. Where a lot of us are, in Lagos or in the south. So we want to understand more about the SME sector in northern Nigeria. Hi, Mohammed. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Kano. That's awesome. Who else? Introduce yourselves. Let's see who else is here. You've seen Mohammed. Who else is here? And if you can write your name and your first name and what part of the north that you're from, that would be really, really fantastic. Thank you so much. We're trying to see if our guest is with us. Not yet. Very, very soon he is going to be here with us. In the meantime, you guys watch Smartpreneur. If you guys are regular watchers of Smartpreneur, drop me a comment. Let me know if you watch the show, and if so, what you like about the show and what keeps you coming back. Ramatu from Kaduna. Hi Ramatu, thank you so much for joining us. It's amazing to have you guys here. I know that we're going to have such a fantastic session today. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to expand. Hi Sam from Kaduna. Hello. We're going to expand our minds in terms of what we can achieve within our businesses, and we're going to learn some very practical strategies for moving our businesses forward. So thank you all for joining us. I and the whole Smartpreneur team really appreciate it, because there's a whole team behind this production. So let us see if our guest is with us yet. Not yet. Oh. No, not yet. Where is our guest? We're still waiting, Mr. Samila. We're here. We're waiting for you. Hi, Mr. Kelvin. How are you? Thank you for joining us. So we're still waiting on our guest. If you guys are in the north, type me some comments. Let me know how you would describe the SME sector in the north in 3 words. So in 3 words, how would you describe the SME sector in the north? Thank you so much. We're so happy to have this session and just to learn more, because at Smartpreneur we're all about learning, we're all about growing our businesses, and we're also all about giving back, because we know that especially in the time of COVID, it's really tough for SMEs. So we want to do everything that we possibly can to add value and to help your businesses thrive even during this difficult time. So let us see if our guest is here. Oh, sorry about that. I've just switched my camera around. I'm gonna switch it back to me. Sorry about that. Let us see if our guest is here. Yes, our guest is here. Okay, good. So I'm gonna add him now. And hopefully he's gonna join me just in 1 minute. Okay, we're just waiting for him to join. He's accepted. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, how are you? Good afternoon.
Yeah, good evening. It's
Good
evening around
evening.
here. Yes.
Good evening. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We have a lot of people who are eagerly awaiting all the insights and all the gems that you're going to drop this early evening.
I hope I'm up to it.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. That's without a doubt. So let us go through your bio very quickly. I have it here. So your name is Mr. Samila Adoyi Oguchu, also known as Dan Hausa. You're a musician, a movie producer, a scriptwriter. Wow, the list is long. An actor, a voiceover artist, and an entrepreneur from Kaduna State.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're also the CEO of Dan Hausa Media Limited. Your bio is long, but I have to cover everything. You're the CEO of Dan Hausa Media Limited, which is one of Northern Nigeria's fastest growing media marketing agencies and is headquartered in Kaduna.
Yeah.
Yes, there's more. Having operated in the media space for so many years, you're one of the pioneering figures of modern day media and entertainment industry, especially in the North. And you're also a multi-award winning philanthropist and mentor. And you oversee a pageantry platform that has seen over 800 women empowered and exposed.
Yep.
That's an amazing bio.
Yeah. Well,
wow. I'm blown away. And I cannot wait to hear more.
It's the Nigerian factor. Yeah.
No, I can't wait to hear more. So let's talk about SMEs in the North. No, let's talk about you first. I want to know just about you, how you started off and how you've been able to operate your businesses so successfully in Kaduna, and also what you think are the misconceptions about doing business in the North, and then what your reality has been.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you once again for having me on this platform. It's an honor. Well, let's dive into how I started. I started off as an actor. Actually, I did some little schooling in the western part of Nigeria, Ogun State, Abeokuta. So I did a little acting in secondary school back in the days, and then, but I later on developed into music. I did more of music, especially from the North, but I'm a Christian North. So in church, I was very active in church, you know, and then when I started my career, I had a band called the Hausawa and the Akwaba Band. So we toured all northern states. We toured some countries outside of Nigeria. Yes. So my music is popularly Hausa funk, and you know, so it's 95% Hausa. So the audience is not the Lagos, you know, or the Western audience. So it's more of the northern audience, and then some West African countries. So yeah, I started off as a musician, and then I started radio. I went into radio. I was an on-air personality for like 8 years.
Okay, which station?
Kaduna State Media Corporation. It's called Capital Sounds.
Okay.
So it's an FM station, and then I did moved into TV. You know, presenting and producing, you know, and all of that. And then of course I started my independent production. You know, I was still doing music and doing a little bit. I also did a little bit of blogging for like 4 years. Yes.
Okay.
I blogged for 4 years. The name of the blog is called Nigertainment. So back then it was popular. We're not much, you know. There were just a few people like the Olori Tosin, you know, and then we looked up to. It was my blog called Nigertainment. A lot of people don't even know that I own the blog because I'm more of a musician. So I do the blogging, most like
Okay.
secretly, you know, as a side hustle.
Okay.
So that I did, and then of course, eventually, I learned, you know, the ropes, you know, failing and standing again, failing, and of course, restart and all of that. And then I moved into a fully production, you know, house, you know, going independent on my own, you know, and
Okay.
I started business, you know. So I thought, I know music is hard, I understand, but there is nothing as tough, real tough as doing business. Get when you do get the job, you don't even know how to finance the job, you know. So it's not easy being a businessman. It hasn't been easy. It's like the toughest part of my life, you know, since I
I can
started
imagine.
business. But of course, people don't see the other side of the business. They probably just see the glow, you know, and all of that. But the stories behind those smiles you see and those agbadas that you see is really, really, really something that everyone, especially for those who are not into business, should
Yeah.
actually appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I can imagine. Thank you so much for giving us the sort of rundown of your background. There's so much you've done in music, in entrepreneurship, even in blogging. I'm sure a lot of people who are actually on this live are in all those sectors. And so, really, today, I think what we want is to get a lot of insight from you, because the North, a lot of people in the South really are interested in breaking into the Northern markets, but it seems somewhat closed off. And also, it's a matter of understanding, you know, the needs of the Northern market. So, what are some of the differences between the North and the South? Oh, are you still there? Sorry, you guys. We're having a few network issues, but I think Mr. Samila is going to be back with us in just a few moments. Looks like it's just buffering. It's still buffering. Hello, sir, are you there? It's still buffering. Oh, oh wow. Okay, I'm sure he's going to be back. I think it's just the network where he is a little bit patchy, but I hope you guys have been enjoying, you know, this session so far. And please do keep your questions. If, as we're talking, any questions come into your mind, please do write them down, because we're definitely going to answer them in the next, you know, in 30 minutes. Once we're done with the session, we'll be taking all your questions. So please do hold on to any questions that you might have. I'm going to try to get Mr. Samila back with us. Okay. All right. Just give him a moment. I'm sure he'll be back with us very shortly. So if you guys are in the North, I know that we have some Northerners with us today. Thank you for being with us. Can you tell us in the comments of any challenges that you've had with doing business in the North? If you also do business in the South, if you sell goods or anything like that. And also if there's any advice you would give for anyone else who's on here who would be interested in doing business in the North. Okay, Mr. Samila is back with us. Right, here we go. Hopefully he should be joining us in just a few moments. Thank you. Wonderful background. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, sir. Welcome back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened.
I think
Just
it's
went
just,
off.
don't worry, network.
Yeah.
It's normal. It's normal.
Yeah.
So what I was asking before it went off was, I want, you know, there's people in the South and Southwest have a preconception about the North. So I want you to tell us about how, if those preconceptions are true, you know, the people in the North seems to be very strict. There's just many ideas about doing business in the North. So could you please, I want you to debunk some of those ideas that maybe people in the North, you know, in terms of consumer spending, they don't really spend that much on, you know, on different things, and they only really spend on essentials. There's things like that that are floating around. So in your experience of doing business in the North, has that been what you've noticed?
Well, aside from doing business here, I also was born and raised here. So I very well know that some of those misconceptions are probably maybe not their fault of people peddling things like that, because they don't know the people here, or they don't come down here. One thing I'd like you to know, let me use this as an example, is that for every Davido, there is someone, there are a million fans, you know, the people who want to dress like him, who want to be like Wizkid, who wants to, they like to appear like Dija, you know, and all of those people. So
Yeah.
everything that you see the kids in southwestern Nigeria do, the northern Nigeria kids also want to do same. That means that if, as a young man, somebody is driving, say, a Range Rover or a G-Wagon in Lekki, there's somebody in Kano who wants to do same. Do you understand? So it's the same thing with business.
Wow.
Everyone wants to succeed. We want to eat good food. Sometimes you go to restaurants here where they sell amala, you know, and you see a lot of northerners, as like 80 to 90% of people that go there are actually northerners who are ordering for amala. You understand? So that goes to say that we all have the same aspirations. We want to become, you know, we want to be great, we want to dress well, want to live well, want to be healthy, and all of that. So, and that also applies to business. Yes, because of the cultures, I understand the stereotypes and all of that.
Yeah.
And some things not maybe say totally embraced, you know, so to say. Yeah, that is what you can't take away from, I mean, say, northern Nigeria. Even Nigeria as a whole, there are some things that are not also accepted in the East and all of that. So we still have our African culture and all of that. But for business, I think if you, northern Nigeria is a 90 million buying power.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really interesting to know. Yes. 90 million.
90 million buying power. It is the highest number of, the highest cluster in Africa. There's no cluster that is as large as northern Nigeria.
90 million people?
Over 90 million people, yeah. So you're looking at it, 90 million buying power. It means that whatever product you bring here, whatever item you bring to northern Nigeria, they will eat it, they will consume it. So, and these people are not going anywhere. They've been here for ages and they're going to continue to be here. So, businesses, yes, I understand the challenges here. Some of the challenges that we face here is financing, you know, and all of that, like I mentioned earlier. So, financing is a problem, you know, especially financing projects, you know. So, financial capital is a problem. But for companies, for blue chip companies or individuals or, you know, conglomerates who have the money to invest, I think Northern Nigeria is ripe at the moment, is the right place to come to, you know. Look at what's happening in China, you know. Why is China so rich? It's because it became like the workshop of the world. People go there to produce because they have a lot, they have numbers, you know. They have a lot of numbers you get. So Northern Nigeria can be our China. There's a lot of people sitting idle. You understand? You can harness this, you know, take advantage of this number. You know, first off, you know that you might produce things that you might not, the locals will consume, because it's not even easy to take care of over 90 million people in northern Nigeria.
Of course, yes, exactly. Those are huge markets.
Yeah, that's a huge market. So if you're producing what, say, Pampers, you know, the number of babies they give birth to in northern Nigeria, you know. So all we need to do is to make sure that we bring the people in the lower cadre, let me say the poor people, you know, try to empower them, you know, in a way that they can be able to spend. Now, when they're able to spend, the disparity you begin to see will change, you know, because even in Nigeria, it's not just Northern Nigeria that's far behind, say, Lagos, you know. That I saw a statistics one time, they said that the middle class in Nigeria is fast growing, and that out of the certain group or so, 70% of the middle class of the people are middle class, you know, especially for young Nigerians. A lot of middle class Nigerians are young, you know, now. So don't forget, they say it's growing, like it's growing fast. The middle class is growing fast. That means that things are good, are getting better. Two, a lot of young people are within that middle class bracket.
True.
Fine.
True.
But let me tell you something that shocked me. They said 70 to 80% of that middle class in Nigeria come from an area called Lekki VI axis.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Wait, of the overall Nigeria?
Of the middle class.
Wow.
It's just around that place.
Wow.
Do you understand? Because sometimes I give this illustration. I say, the business need to be able to make money to pay you for you to be able to, for a staff of that business to walk into a fast food and eat lunch of say 4,000 naira.
Yeah.
Now, if as a lady, if you walk into a fast food for your break, for lunch break, for 4,000 naira, you do that 5 times a week. Imagine that amount, and then you do that 4 times a month. You get, so for you to spend 60 to 80,000 naira on lunch alone every month, therefore means that you have to be collecting salary of about say 300 to 400,000. For you to spend 70,000 naira, for eating lunch. So what kind of business will hire you? They are those SMEs, this small scale enterprise that will hire people like that. It therefore means that the company, those businesses must make money for them to pay you that much.
Yes, I definitely agree, and I want to get into that more. So I want to talk about SMEs, not necessarily multinationals, because I guess they have their own ways of scaling and growing, but more SMEs. What are the particular barriers to entry do you think SMEs may face when trying to penetrate the northern Nigerian market? Because I think there's some cultural values that are very strong, like you mentioned, in northern Nigeria. And I think SMEs have to be sensitive to that when they want to engage with that market. So can you give us more just specifics, I guess, to northern Nigeria that SMEs should be aware of when trying to target and appeal to that market?
First off, I agree with you on the issue of culture, but I also feel that it's overflogged because sometimes they are too careful. A client was talking to me one time and said, okay, they want to wear a veil. They don't know if said,
network.
And I replied, if you come to Kaduna, the streets of Kaduna, I would like to take you on maybe on a stroll, just on the tour of the city, and see what people actually wear in real life, how they dress in real life. I'll take you to Kano. How do those people dress in real life? You get so. Yes, understand the culture, but again, it is not say, I don't want to use a religion, holy ground or something. It's not something you should be afraid of because sometimes it's overflowed, that they over exaggerate it. You understand? So yes, that is one thing that every SME investor needs to, let me just say investors need to understand. Then again, getting, say, having people that have the knowledge, you understand, because capacity is a problem for northern Nigerians. So we need to start capacity building, educating people on different vocations, not just going to school. If you look at the ratio of people that go to school in northern Nigeria, how many go to school versus the people that don't go to school? How many schools there are there even in northern Nigeria? How many universities are there in northern Nigeria? And look, with the population of northern Nigeria, the people who go to school, I can't say per se the statistic, but I can tell you that it's not probably up to 30% or 40% of the population of the young people who are supposed to be in schools.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So this is where training comes in for vocations, not just going to conventional school per se, but training them on different things. I'll use my constituency as an example. As an entertainer, I can tell you that it's good for movie production, actors, cameramen. Kannywood is doing a lot in that aspect. Teach people vulcanizing, mechanic, IT, and all of those things. These are things that we can begin to teach you know, empower people in northern Nigeria, you know, teach
Young
them
people.
this trade
Yeah.
and all of that, so they can add
Okay.
value. Just like I said
Okay.
earlier, northern Nigeria can be the China of Africa.
I think that's a very powerful quote. When you said it, I was like, wow, that's actually such a huge statement. Because I think also in light of what's going on in the world, a lot of companies want to move away from producing in China, and so why not produce in northern Nigeria instead? There's the capacity there, the human capacity. It will take some investments, but it will yield great results in the future, I'm sure. So any blue chip companies, multinationals that are watching right now, please do keep that in mind. So let's move on to social media, because I know social media is a very powerful tool for SMEs who want to bring light to their brand, who want to market their brand. It's cost effective, and it's a quick way of getting a brand visibility. And I want to talk about the North, because I've heard certain things that go in the North. Social media is not really that powerful. It's more billboards and things like that. So what would you say to that? Do you think social media is still a powerful tool to market to northern consumers, or do you think traditional ways of marketing are still better in terms of appealing to that specific segment?
I know I'm going to break some tables now, but I can tell you that if you're still in that school of thought that northern Nigerians are always with radio, then you have missed it. Like, if you're investing in that one, you have missed it by a long margin, honestly, because every northern Nigerian is online. Most of them are online. They have small phones, tiny phones that do Facebook. So on the Facebook, they use SMS to send the message to the platform. SMS.
Okay. Wow.
Do you understand? That's how much they understand. And if you look at it, northern Nigeria is the highest group of people on Facebook in Africa.
Really? This is so fascinating. What, in
Yes,
Africa?
the BBC. Yeah, some years ago, about in 2015, there was a research that came out, and I was at a forum when we discussed, and the BBC representatives there said they have the largest by far.
Wow.
They are the people who subscribe to them, and BBC Hausa is the largest Facebook group at that time in Africa, largest Facebook group in Africa. And the highest number of people who are subscribed to that are from, of course, northern Nigeria. So it therefore makes, bring to fore that northern Nigeria is the highest group of people on Facebook in Nigeria. I don't want to speak about the rest of Africa, you understand? Because I know Egypt has a large community, but in Nigeria, northern Nigeria has the largest Facebook. Now, and we're moving into Instagram, because Instagram, we don't need too much of writing. It's more of pictures, pictorials. And if you look at northern Nigerian celebrities, let me give you an example. There are people who have millions of followers. 80 to 90% of those followers are from northern Nigeria.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now, a large community of northern Nigerians are on TikTok at the moment.
Oh, really?
Doing all sorts of videos. Yes.
That's fascinating. I didn't know.
Yes. So this is a new normal, and we need to adjust to it. Experts, companies, entrepreneurs need to know some of these things, so they continue to live in the past.
In the past, yes.
Most of this, and now the dominant narrative is always, will always carry the day. So we need to change that narrative, and of course, like I say, as an entrepreneur or as an investor, as a business person, you need to understand social media, because we're in the era of information overload. Now, what I mean by information overload is, for instance, today we're trending, and you see, Smartpreneur is trending now. By the time you go to the bathroom and back, Tonto Dike just dropped a single. Nobody wants to hear about Smartpreneur anymore. They want to hear Tonto Dike.
Yeah.
Oh, Tonto Dike just dropped a song. Before you know it, they will tell you, Takashi 69 just disrespected Snoop Dogg. Nobody wants to hear about, so for Tonto Dike to come back on top, she needs to reinvent herself.
Yes, of course.
So we live in an era of information overload. So every other time, every minute there's something that is struggling to overtake the next one. And
Definitely.
if you are overtaking is allowed, like I said, that is used to say. So before you know it, you're no longer in vogue like your history. Like last month, for instance, December was good and everybody was having a dirty December. We came into January with a little bit of hazard and all of that, but it was hopeful. There were a lot of shows in Nigeria last year like no other year. It was a dirty December. There was a lot of things going on. And whoop, the next thing is lockdown.
Lockdown, yeah. Yes, exactly.
Every memory of dirty December is gone. It's no longer in vogue. Now, if dirty December wants to come back, they have to fight to win the lockdown, to win the pandemic and continue to move. And one day, in a few months, you might be shocked that you'll not even remember COVID-19 anymore. Something else would have taken, over the conversation.
Yes,
so
I understand. People
it's
have
an information overload. Yes.
spans.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that is so interesting. I never thought of it like that before, but you're so right. What is in front of us is what we absorb and focus on. We're not thinking of, even like you said, a month ago now seems like such a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're always being bombarded with different information, different images, and that is actually what sticks. Very, very interesting. And another point, I hope everyone's listening. I hope you guys are taking notes. I'm certainly taking notes here as well. I thought what you said about Facebook was fantastic, because if an SME brand is trying to target Kano, Kaduna, people who live in northern Nigeria, I think Facebook is actually a very effective tool that they can use, because so many people from northern Nigeria are already on there, so they can utilize that tool in order to push the reach of their business. And that's something I certainly did not know. So thank you so much for sharing that. I feel like these are not things you can get on Google or you can randomly stumble upon. This is information that can really only come with someone who has the experience and the insight.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. We still have more to go. I want to talk to you about the pandemic. We already touched briefly on COVID, but I want to talk to you about how businesses are adapting, to this new normal, as they're calling it, in the north. What are more businesses going online? Are they changing the way that they interact with customers? What are the strategies that are being used to sort of ride out the storm that's happening at the moment?
Well, everything about this pandemic is novel. It's a novel pandemic. Even the experts don't know. The scientists are failing with all the models and all of that. So social distancing, did it work? The lockdown, did it work? Countries are debating it, whether it worked or didn't work. Same thing as work at home. A friend of mine said just to me today that he preferred going to work. That this work at home is overworked. He can't even handle himself. The kids are there, they're the bosses, and he has to deal with work and all of that. So everything is new for everyone around the world. Even the people who are more advanced than us are also learning this new normal, learning to adjust to it, learning new things. Now, so some models will come out and may not work. We have to change again. We have to be willing to unlearn and learn quickly, and unlearn again and learn quickly. So the same thing is happening in northern Nigeria. A lot of because there are not a lot of businesses, per se. Most of the businesses are connected to Lagos, and all of that. So the few businesses that are around are also trying to find ways. They are monitoring what's going on in other places, so they can take a cue. Because nobody understands anything yet, So for now, I cannot tell you. I can tell you that businesses are already starting to adjust to the new normal. I think they are still taken aback by what has happened, and people are thinking, it might just change tomorrow, but it's taking too long to change, to the normal and all of that. So people are not really sure, and already to start with, most businesses are not even online before now.
Oh, really? So a
Yeah.
lot of businesses have not gone
Yeah,
digital
no,
in the
you
north.
get,
Okay.
especially most governments are not even online. They're not digital
Okay.
yet. So they have to start learning how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
same thing goes with the business because everything is paperwork. It's still paper
Wow.
pushing here and there. You get, so
Okay. Okay.
this is this is new, this is very alien to us, and we have to adjust to this new normal and learn fast to be able to catch up. But this has taken us really, really back, like 10, 15 years back, you know.
I understand. And you know what's so interesting? When you were speaking, I was thinking that there could even be a gap in the market for maybe an SME here in Lagos that offers some sort of, taking your business digital, or some sort of,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
some
that's
sort
a
of
brilliant idea.
online solution that a lot of SMEs
Yes.
can quickly adopt in
Yeah.
order to pivot their business model. That is
Yeah, of
something
course.
that they can make a lot of money from just
Yeah.
by targeting, this one sector. So it's so
Yes.
interesting, the insights that you're giving us. So I want to just now throw the floor open to anyone who is watching us, who has been waiting patiently to ask a question. If you guys have anything, any question that you would like to throw out, adjust the norm. Yes, we are all adjusting to this new normal. Please do, share your question with us now. If not, I will ask my own personal questions because I have a lot of questions to ask. So I suggest you guys who have questions, ask. Even if you are from the north and you want to contribute, you have a comment or anything like that, please do. Someone said adopt or perish. Okay, yes, adoption is very important right now. So any questions? We're here. We just want to know more. If not, I'll just continue. And if I do see a question come up on the screen, I will go to it. So I want to talk about your own personal business in terms of the music, everything that you do, the production. How are you as an entrepreneur who has so many different facets to your business? How are you sort of adapting what you do in this period in order to thrive?
When it started, I actually was one of the first people who believed it from the start. So I was in Lagos in January, and after that, the index case in Nigeria, the Italian guy,
Italian, yeah.
I right there in Lagos, I changed everything. I changed my way of life. My daily routine, everything changed. Immediately, I got a mask and all of that, and so I was among the first people that started it.
Okay.
And when I got to Kaduna, and I realized that okay, the numbers started increasing, and it started getting worse in other countries.
Yeah.
And of course, the epicenter was then not US. I think it was Italy and Spain. And all of
Yes,
that.
it's Italy and Spain. Yeah.
So immediately I also shut down the office, closed down our office, and asked
Okay.
everybody to work from home. That was in early March, and then it continued. March came, and then we went into April, and then we realized that businesses, clients who had earlier given briefs or are intending to give briefs started pulling back, and everyone we're just learning what was. People were in shock. People were in disbelief. Is this what's happening? What is going on? Is everybody going to die? This thing that's happening. Nobody knew what was going on at that time. So we also shut down, and it was more of okay, let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of our families. Everybody face your families, stay healthy, be safe, wash your hands, and all of those things.
Yes.
But when April came and we were still breathing, and a lot of us were still very healthy, we now started thinking about the business. Okay, so what's the way forward? So at some point as a business, we had to make decisions, very tough ones. We had to let go temporarily some of our staffs, let go of those staffs because I then kept the essential ones, the production staffs and all of that. And then still keeping in touch with everyone, hoping that this will end sooner and business will, of course, pick up again. So those are the things that I did personally and we did as a business to, and now we're reaching out. We don't open because some of our cities here are still on lockdown For instance, in Kaduna State, we started 5 days before Nigeria started their own
Okay.
lockdown. So with today is day 55 or 6 or so, that we've been on lockdown. And after the first 30 days, we were given 30 days, not 14. We're given first 30 days. After the first 30 days,
Wow.
we're given another 30 days.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're just about to round off the second 30
Second
days.
30 days. Okay.
Okay, so and yes,
That's
so
way
we're
more
not
than Lagos. Yeah.
of course, yes. So we're not sure the next line of action. So you can see that the market here is there's no optimism, in the market here for now at the moment, because nothing is happening. So it means that everyone has to go back online, and start and probably do a reset and start over. And it means that those businesses you're going to start to do online, those reconnections, it's going to seem like you're starting from the scratch. And so it's going to be an uphill task moving forward, So businesses, like I said earlier, is going to be really affected negatively. I know it's happening everywhere in the world, but here in Northern Nigeria, because we don't even have a lot of the entrepreneurs, the businesses don't thrive much, we have the numbers, but I think it's the circulation of money that is not there, and then capacity building and all of those things. So it's going to really affect Northern Nigeria. And the crime is also, the crime rate is going up.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, our own office was boggled, a month and a half ago.
Oh, wow. So sorry to hear that. What happened? Was it just a random incident?
Well, I don't know, but they came in and they seemed to know what they were doing. Like, they broke the doors and took everything, the things that they wanted,
wow.
And all of that, running to millions of naira.
Terrible.
Now, and that had never happened before, So I realized that, and our office is in the city center, right? So
okay,
it's in the city center, and there's a lot of menial jobs to do. Car wash there, because of course that's where the people with the big cars are, So there's car wash people, people who go to, say, throw the dustbin, come to your house to do domestic work and all of those things. So you see most of these young boys and females, around, not roaming about, but actually looking for jobs, and actually that's where they get to eat, every day when they go out and do something, get a wash and all of that. So suddenly, for 6 to 7 weeks, nobody was doing anything,
Yes, so it was the same in Lagos.
You understand? So even the authorities, the security agencies are overwhelmed. They can't even do anything. So are you going to be, I don't even know who to direct my anger to. Is it to the police, or the police, or myself, or
of course, very frustrating.
So very frustrating.
So sorry, sir. So sorry to hear that. Really, really terrible.
That's fine. So so businesses are going to be affected. There's no doubt.
Yeah, but I think what you said about capacity building is really, really key to what can turn the situation around. Yeah. If there are organizations that can go in and really focus on capacity building, that can really make a difference. Well, we have quite a few questions now, actually. So someone's asking, for the northern part of Nigeria, how would you say business owners approach the power of collaboration?
Okay, that is one thing that is lacking here, collaboration. As much as we complain and talk about lack of investors, and investments, injection of money into the system, in the business arena here. Now, collaboration may not replace that, or will not do what, say, injection of money from outside can do, but it can help start up something. But we're not able to get to that point where Abubakar, Sani, and Sowewa will bring in 100,000 naira to start a business of 300,000. We haven't gotten to that point. Everybody wants to be a king on his own. Okay. You understand? So I was talking to some business partners one time, and I told them, I don't want to, I rather own 20% of 100 million naira than own 100% of 5 million naira.
I understand.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when we collaborate, we can do more. You bring your experiences to bear. Then you bring your little finances, and that little finance it's just like a bunch of broom. If you hold a broomstick, it can break easily. Or if you put them together, they're stronger. You understand? So people need to begin to see that there's a need for that synergy, especially for Northern Nigeria. We need to start understanding the power of collaboration and what it can do. We can be in the same, do a certain business, and I probably will be good at, say, building, and you are good at maybe painting or something else.
Yeah,
we can collaborate. There's several ways we can do that, but that has not been happening in Northern Nigeria that I know of. So I think it's one of our greatest undoing. Yeah.
The challenges, that's interesting that you've highlighted that. So people are really getting excited with their questions now. Thank you so much for your questions. So Sage Kristen says, do you think religion is hampering the success of businesses in Northern Nigeria?
That's very dicey, but I think on the face value, yes, it is. When your first contact with Northern Nigeria, and of course, for benefit of hindsight, things that have been happening in the past, yes, it is hampering the progress and success of businesses in Northern Nigeria. But I can tell you, as a businessman, that I am into business now. I'll tell you that notion is not true any longer. People are just afraid of the unknown or things they've heard in the past, and the religion is so. I think they've used it to. I don't want to call it suppression, but say undue influence. There's so much undue influence, by say the people in charge, to a point where even it affects business. I'll give an example. I'll not mention anyone, but I'll give an example of a TV station in Northern Nigeria that I was a part of, probably still. So the owner is like my foster father, is late now, and every turn of the year, when during that period, that season of where people need to preach, they come to him and ask for free airtime, to air the messages, and all of that, and then he gives. So year in, year out, he did that for almost 10 years. He gives loads of airtime, during that period. So for that period, for that stretch, he gives more than half the airtime of the station to religious activities.
Okay.
So one day there was going to be a religious function somewhere, and he was invited. Okay, so they came again and asked for the same airtime. So, okay, you want to do this thing, this graduation, we need you to come and all of that. So he said. And then why the guy was, his points for asking for free airtime was, sir, the people who want to give us canopies are charging us about ₦1 million. The guys with the chairs are charging us another 500,000. The sound guy, can you imagine? Oh God, the sound guy is asking us for ₦2 million. And all of that. So he now sat down. These people were calling money and they are paying. And he was complaining bitterly to him. I said, so you're saying that you guys paid these people this much money? He said, yes, we paid. He said, wow. And you want me to give you airtime for free?
Free.
Because the airtime is the reason why people are going to come for the function.
Of course, yes. Very true.
So that is why a lot of our industries, for example, we have some of the finest airlines in Nigeria. Chachangi Airline, Cabo Airline, Freedom Airline. These are airlines by Northern Nigerians. What happened to the airlines? Somebody will come and say, well, me and my family, give us a ticket, they will just give 20. So we have that thing in Northern Nigeria that we just give without asking, Even I have some, for people who know me closely, I also do it. It's just like in our nature.
It's good. It's generosity though, right?
Yeah, generosity, but it kills
taking advantage of.
Yeah, but for business, it's not good for business, actually. Do you understand? It's not good for business. Why is that going to succeed? Somebody said there's a joke back then in Northern Nigeria. They say the reason why Dangote is succeeding because he's not taking any of us as his workers. What he does, that when he makes his money, he will just come and give us small, small, so I take. He now go back and use the other people because those ones will not come. Because here, you can employ someone and you ask him why you not coming. Say, say today he just woke up. He just feel like he should just sleep more. You know, so we have that kind of attitude. So these are some of the things. Yeah, that's on a lighter note, but we need businesses need to be strict, need to be prudent. Prudence is very important in business. We need to be strategic in whatever we do, in our planning, in our financing and all of that, So these are things that we need to learn here, So yeah.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Thank you so much for shining a light. We still have more questions. We'll just probably take another 2 questions because I know our time is sort of going. But someone else has asked, about financing. So they've said that's Omale MD. As an entrepreneur who intends going into business, he's asked, what do you think is the appropriate way to access finance? I'm sure a lot of people on here are also curious about how they can access finance in order to grow and scale their business. That's one of the big challenges that entrepreneurs have or face, should I say.
Yeah, that question, why I was laughing is because, the traditional way of accessing finance is go to the bank and get finance. But most Northern Nigerians do not have those requirements to take a loan. I understand that governments used to give grants and loans, and when they give it, they don't give it to the right people. They give it to people who have connection, and when they get that money, they get a second wife and a third wife and a new car and get new TV, go on vacations and stuff. That's what those guys were doing, those that they were giving grants to. The reason is because they're not giving to the right people. Now, for a businessman or an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur who wants to kickstart a business, who has an idea, the traditional way, like I said earlier, is actually to go to the bank. But then, out of every, say, 50 Northern Nigerians who go to the bank, probably one will succeed in getting something. You understand? So it is not easy.
Wow.
For me personally, as a testimonial, is when I started business, I was so extreme. I threw caution to the wind. So I was to a point where I had to approach a loan shark.
Wow.
Yes. And almost everything I got, I gave to him. You understand? So, but those sacrifices I was making is because I wanted to learn the ropes, learn the job, also build client confidence, and all of that. So to show that I'm able to do it, even with the little resources and all of that. So I wasn't focusing mostly on the profits at the time. I was focusing more on doing the job, I'm doing it thorough. So the reasons why some of our productions and our projects have been, adjudged some of the best, even in the country, is because of what the sacrifices we were able to make from the start, and then we remain focused. We didn't veer off the track. We were just, doing the job, and that's where the focus was, not on the money. But then again, it's not enough to have good ideas. You need money. So accessing finance has to do with the individual for now, because we don't have a structure in place that you can actually access funds in Northern Nigeria. So you have to go with your guts, and that's why that collaboration is also very important too, if we can begin to synergize.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your honest answer to that, because I know that's something a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with, and they feel that it's something that's holding them back. But like you said, it's something one has to be sort of innovative about. And even if it's I always say, angel investment, friends or family, however you can, convince them of your idea, show them you're serious, and try and cobble together some money. At least start. I feel like once you start, there's always a way to move forward, but starting is actually a very big
and we also have a problem with this entitlement culture. This entitlement thing. Because my uncle is the director of so and so, I feel they should just give us money. So we have that a lot. Some people just sit back and they're waiting for their parents to die so they can inherit it. So those things I just feel is laziness. We have some bright people in Northern Nigeria, a lot of young people, and they want to work. You see them, tailors, traders, petty traders, and all of that. They want to do something. They want to work. and I think those who have money in northern Nigeria need to begin to look inwards and maybe begin to think of how to, pump money into the various industries that are thriving. I know, and you can see prospects in them from northern Nigeria. So northern Nigerians need to do more. It's not just having people to come from outside. The people also who have money here also need to, inject that money, here in northern Nigeria.
Okay, fantastic. So we can only take one question. What I'm going to try and do is to try and merge all the remaining questions into one question.
Okay.
There's a lot of people on here who are so excited to hear from you, and they're all pumping in their questions, but our time, we're going to be cut off by Instagram very soon. So what I want to, the last question, I'm going to amalgamate everything. So someone has said, how deep has terrorism eaten into the fabric of business in the North? And then to that, I will also add, someone else asked about wanting to go digital in their business, but being prohibited by the high cost of data. What can they do about that? And then someone else asked you personally if you have plans, sir, of grooming more business people in the North. If there's any sort of traineeship, mentorship scheme that you may have, or that you may consider in order to also groom them in their business endeavors. So that's 3 questions in one.
Yeah, okay, I'll start with the first one, the terrorism. Of course, the sad one, that's pretty sad. It didn't start today. As a matter of fact, before terrorism, there was political uprising, and all of that. So those political crises, kick-started, the downward trend of entrepreneurs growing, businesses growing in northern Nigeria. It started very well, especially in the 2000s. It started very well. It was going up, and then from 2011, things just took a turn, so it's and then terrorism has now made it even worse. You can't even travel the roads. Look, before you see people going to Abuja and back to Kaduna, businesses happening, things happening, and moving all the way to Kano, and all of that. But all of those things have stopped, so it has actually reduced commerce, the level of commerce that we see here. The second question is about, what was it again?
About the high cost of data for businesses that want to go digital, struggling with the high cost of data.
This is where you need to start staying up late in the night, because John Mason says something in his book. He said, the biggest room in a man's house is the room that contains excuses, because excuses are the cheapest things to manufacture. So if we continue to make excuses, we will not go anywhere.
Move forward.
Back in the days, we used to wait not to talk to our girlfriends, wait till midnight so we can have that midnight call. Do you understand? So back then, if you could do it for probably just for pleasure, how about for business? Sometimes you see on TV, so there's some data is for a little money will give you data for weekends, little money will give you nighttime data. Now, as a visionary person, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, you should be able to stay up late and enjoy that night data and work. You can sleep during the day while others are going about, but you do most of the work because it's digital. Everybody's trying to go digital now. So I feel that, yes, there's high cost of data, but we can always find a way around it. There's always around it. So I asked, actually, this is why I give kudos to the network companies for bringing those kind of options, so that people who don't have the luxury of using data during the day can actually just have 200 naira. There's a network I saw, they say 200 naira will give you 2,000 gigs. But you can 2 gigs, sorry, but you have to use it in the night, which is good.
In the night, so you have to stay up. Sorry, Sam, I'm just going to cut you off. Well, we only have 55 seconds, so in those 55 seconds, before Instagram tells us it's a wrap, I want to thank you for coming on here, for being so open. A lot of people on here are so happy. Someone has actually said, I must commend you for your resilience despite the not too friendly environment for entertainment in Kaduna. So you have so many fans, so many people who love you, who are inspired by you, myself included today after hearing your story. Thank you for coming on. How can people reach out to you if they want to talk more?
You can talk to me on Instagram, DH_Adoyi. You can talk to me on Twitter, @_Adoyi. You can talk to me on Facebook, Samaila DH, Adoyi. And of course, so that's it. You can go to my YouTube as well and see some of my old clips, and all of that. So
Fantastic. And with that, it's a wrap. We're going to be cut off in 5 seconds. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything.